Wow, so here's a beautiful Model R. It's just come off the production line and it's going off to packing. And I wanted to show you this bike on how we can color customize anything. This customer, obviously a big fan of the yellow, and then chose to go with the red rims. And they went with the suspension fork, which comes cut basically standard on the R, but with the yellow color customizer on there, which looks beautiful. And then they did the outside basket, the yellow, and then the inside part of the basket, the yellow. And then what was fun is they added the battery, which is, you can see in there, and this is an extended battery. So we've got the one battery in the down tube, and then we've got, this customer chose to get the extended battery in the basket. So this bike will do around about 150 miles or so. So it still looks like a beautiful bike, but to do that kind of range is just amazing. They also chose with the front and back fenders and the matching back rack, which again, this one's got the ebike system, which is mounting is key, which you just clip on and clip off. It's also got the flashing back light and these beautiful bright side lights that you can actually, back lights that you can see from the side. These Model R tires are fantastic. They are really good puncture resistant. Not like people say puncture resistance, these are actually puncture resistant with the reflective sidewalls. This customer chose to go with the 7-speed, which is fine. It works really well if you want to pedal without any power. And this is now the 58 tooth chain ring in the front, and those beautiful, comfortable pedals with the reflectance fixtures on the side, no spiky things to scrape you up. Also, all the wiring, internal wiring, so you always want the wiring internally so it doesn't snag on anything, and if you ever want to maintain it, of course the plugs are on the outside. And this basket, because it's got such a big, huge amount of capacity, all our baskets are actually attached to the frame. And the beautiful thing about it is when you route all your wiring into the frame, you don't have this rat's nest of wiring which you see on other bikes. And they have this rat's nest of wiring, and they say, well, go ahead and add a basket. They've got some sort of bracket on there. Well, the problem is if you don't route your wiring nice and neatly, you're going to have this wiring, and when you turn, it's going to hook up on all the contents of what you have in your basket. So take it for what it's worth. No basket should be attached when you've got all that wiring out in the front. So we have attached the basket to the frame, nice and neatly routed the wiring. While I'm here, I can talk about those beautiful Tektro Dorado brakes. Now people say hydraulic disc brakes, it's some kind of brand. Well, you want to go with a reputable brand. This is a Taiwanese brand, and it is the best, which I've found to be on the market as far as hydraulic disc brakes for electric bikes. Unbelievable, really, really good. And the 4 pistons come from the caliper down at the bottom, where this has got a 180 millimeter rotor, and the caliper down there, really state of the art. It's obviously got the motor inhibitor on the caliper, on the brake lever here. So you'll notice on the display, when I depress the brake, that little light comes on, which means the motor gets cut off, plus the brake gets engaged. So really nice. We definitely do not believe in twist throttles. You never want to twist throttle on an electric bike, because you're often lifting it and taking it off and on the pavement. So if you've got a twist throttle, when you lift the bike, you inadvertently twist, you could twist the throttle and your bike will just take off. So never have a twist throttle on an electric bike. Always ask for the thumb throttle. That's the key part. This customer, of course, has a 7-speed, which is on that side. So you want to make it nice and neat. So we put the thumb throttle on this side, so you can change mechanical gears and the thumb throttle. This also allows for a nice, clean cockpit. You don't want one display here, one display here, one display there. You want one nice, neat, perfectly colorful display with all the information on it. It's actually a 75-page manual for that bugger, but it's got everything that you want. And there, I'll switch it back on for you. It's got a nice little logo attached. So it'll give you a battery, and it'll give you a and the battery is not just a gauge, it also gives you the actual volts to the point tenth of a volt there, so you can really get your distance and temperature and a whole bunch of other things. This bike is a beautiful bike. The Model R is one of our most popular. It's very versatile. Obviously, you've also got the real comfortable seats, nice stitching, just a beautiful bike. You know, with an electric bike, you spend a lot of time on the bike. So you typically ride your bike further, faster, more often. You gain a lot of cargo. You start putting all kinds of fun things on, especially with our unique little system. It's got the mounting is key system, so you can add panniers and you can add back racks, baskets, and sort of little trunk bags. But the beautiful thing about it is that it's got this little pattern in here, and this is a unique pattern designed by a Dutch company, and you can see their logo there, MIK, mounting is key, and you just clip it in and clip it out. Otherwise it'll just come standard with this nice little attachment. Or if you've got bungees, we've actually made it that you can attach the bungee to those kind of cool things. So overall, just a really beautiful bike. We build all our bikes to order, so we get our parts from all around the world, and we choose the best parts. So you've got integrated bearings in the headset, so if you actually open this and you look inside, not many people do that, but we do it because we build our own bikes. And you can either get an exposed bearing, you can get a cassette, or you can get integrated bearings. So we use only the best integrated bearings, and that's for longevity over time. It doesn't cause speed wobbles, and your steering stays firm, and it's a really big deal for us. Of course, the suspension fork is which everybody now has, which is the preset and the lockout on either side. But of course, you know, when you build your bikes, you ensure that the bottom bracket has integrated bearings, and so does the pedals. The pedals have bearings on them, but not just regular bearings, integrated bearings, and same with the hub. You want to make sure that the hub's got integrated bearings, which really means that when it's in the weather and it's in, you know, harsh conditions, none of the grit and the grime and the moisture gets inside there. So building the bike itself is actually kind of key. We try to make it look as simple as possible, but you know, it's obviously every part is specified and inspected by us before it's put on the bike. The bike also arrives fully built, so this is how you get it. You know when your bike is imported, or when it comes in a box, it comes with a mass-produced line in the, you know, in a foreign factory, and you don't really get to choose your own bike. And nowadays with electric bikes, the kind of more and more people would like to personalize their bike. You know, it's sort of like a statement. It's like you know, something that you're wearing or something that you're taking to the beach, and you really want something beautiful, something your own, something that you can customize, something that you can build for your own needs. Like for instance, this customer chose to have the suspension seat post, and then the tan and 10 grips and saddle, and this color code really goes nicely for his particular choice. And with the trim, you'll notice is all blacked out trim. And what's special for our wheels is we actually make our own wheels, and they've got brass nipples and stainless rust resistant spokes, which again, it's all about longevity. You know, these electric bikes that you can get now, they last 1 season, maybe 2 seasons, but the bearings rust, or all the components break down, and then you're going 28 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, depending on your state, and you slam on the brakes, you know, and then all kinds of troubles come about. So we find it really important that every part that's on your bike is specified by us, put together by our builders, inspected by our inspectors, tested, and packed fully built. You don't want to be messing around with a bike of this price point. You know, it's around just over $2,000 for this bike. So you want this perfect, and it goes through a whole process. Another nice thing is every bike's got a serial number, and that serial number is then correlated to the inspector that inspected the bike and the builder. So you can actually pick up the phone and say, my serial number is so-and-so, who built my bike, who inspected my bike, and you can chat with them. And maybe you've got a question about the bike, and you can actually speak to your bike builder, which is really nice. We're big believers in building our own products and not just being a marketing company or a branding company. So, you know, give us a call and we'll give you the information. Hope you enjoyed this video, and some more to come. Appreciate it.